When we talk about financial freedom, everyone talks about retiring early. But the truth is, real life happens long before retirement. And if you're not financially prepared for those life transitions, they can break you. Or worst of all, they will delay the dreams you have for the lifestyle that you actually want even further. Throughout your life, you'll go through so many more transitions than just that one event, the retiring part. And if you're not prepared financially for those life-changing events, they may just break you and set you back further on your goals that you have for your life. There's so many examples of people feeling trapped in their lives because they didn't prepare for those transitions. I personally know people who are in those situations. My heart just breaks just seeing what they're going through, because I know exactly how they can prepare for these life transitions, and I know that the preparation would have changed the experience that they went through and made it much smoother. Here's why transitions matter more than retirement. What we have seen in the past few years is that society focuses more and more on early retirement, and doing that while neglecting all the important life transitions that you will go through before retiring. We have seen movements such as the FIRE movement encouraging people to save between 70 to 80% of their income, also that they can retire early and escape their lives to some faraway country like Bali. Why? Why that focus on retirement, when throughout your life you will go through so many transitions? Here are some examples of important transitions that you might go through throughout your life compared to that end of life retirement that everybody keeps talking about. For example, moving out of your parents' house and going to university. And then after that, moving out of university and starting your career. Later on, you might even want to start your own family or change the career that you have. You might even experience health challenges or want to start business ventures. All those transitions will demand some investment from your side. And the truth is, if you're not prepared for any of this, you'll feel as if you're financially trapped. And it'll build stress instead of building freedom in your life. Just think about it. My personal experience with moving from university life and starting my career was actually one of the most financially draining in my life. And at that point, it's very difficult to be expected to actually have the savings that you require to actually start that life with yourself. This was one of the biggest transitions for me, and it involved a lot of first-time expenses. Things like renting an apartment away from my parents' house, furnishing that apartment, buying my first car, and being able to support myself every month. Luckily for me, I did have some funds that I had saved up from my modeling career back when I was a student. But most people don't have those funds or any of those savings. So then they're kind of forced to go back and live with their parents or be in debt, because there's so many costs that go into this part of your life and this event that is happening, this transition that you are going through. Some people even end up really not being able to move forward or struggle a lot in their goals because they have this financial burden that they're still taking care of. Why has no one prepared us for this first transition? The next transition might be that you find a partner and you want to start a family. The cost of this transition only get bigger, and depending on the lifestyle that you and your partner actually agreed on, they get exponentially bigger. In my case, the transition costs included, now I have to stop renting, but I will pick up the cost of having a mortgage because now we're buying a house with my partner. Furnishing that house. The furniture that we used to have doesn't fit this house. It's either too small or just doesn't fit the style that we're going for. We decided in the beginning that we want to share a car, but with the second one coming, we are already thinking about getting a second car because the first car will be too small. We've had wedding costs and all the costs that come with having kids. For this transition, when you're building a family, the list can go on and on because every couple or every family situation, you create it differently. Everybody chooses how to create their family situation. So the amount of expenses that one family faces will definitely be different from the other family. But these are all costs that if we prepared for them ahead of time, we would be able to manage in a different way. And because this is the lifestyle you're choosing, you would be better able to actually manage those costs when they occur. The costs that surprised me the most are the costs for the house upkeep and maintaining our home, fixing the issues that come up every now and then. Because it's difficult to think of the type of challenges that you might face with your house. It's like having a car, but with a car you do have regular maintenance, and there is a warranty for the first 3 years. With the house, you don't have that 3 years guarantee or whatever amount of time guarantee that the costs that will happen in actually maintaining that car will be taken up by that warranty. So everything is out of pocket immediately unless you have planned and saved up for these type of things. Again, I ask, why has nobody prepared us for this? You have savings account for emergencies. You have all sorts of other accounts, but nobody really says create a transition fund. Create a transition savings account where when you go through these big life changes, you have this pot of cash that you can use and you don't have to stress about it. Even if you've long forgotten about transitions such as moving from your parents' house or even starting your family, and you are in the period where you're thinking, oh, maybe I want to change a career or I want to start a new business. All of those will come with costs. Because when you change your career, you might face a period where you are perhaps for about 3 months looking for a new job, or you're retraining yourself in skills that you want to use in that new career. And for a business, there'll always be startup costs. Whether you are using your own funds that you have saved up, or you're going to start asking for a loan, you have to take that into account. With a loan, there will be interest that you have to pay. And honestly, paying interest for a business, that's money that you could have spent back in the business making it grow. Now you're going to have to spend it on paying somebody else interest instead of growing your business as fast as you can. If you were to spend your own money that you've saved up for this transition, you would have peace of mind in your business and you would be able to make it profitable as soon as possible without worrying about paying back loans and investors or any type of interest that might have occurred without this type of transition fund that you would have saved for. There's plenty more transitions that make life so much more interesting before you retire. And speaking of which, I personally don't want to retire. I want to continue doing what I love. And that might not be for an employer, but for myself. Right now, I foresee myself helping you build lifestyle and financial freedom well into the foreseeable future when my hair is all gray. Because I've seen far too many people retire and lose their sense of purpose. I've seen people retire, then all of a sudden get sick, and before you know it, they have lost their lives to that particular disease or illness, and then we all have to go to their funeral. I think that's unfair. You've been grinding all your life for this retirement fund that you've been saving for, and then all of that money gets taken up by the medical bills, and you don't get to enjoy any part of it. I think that's very unfair. Keeping your mind engaged and challenged by doing what you love keeps you active and gives you a sense of purpose. I know I've used Warren Buffett for all of the examples that I have, but he's a nice example. He's an old person who is still doing what he loves. Also, retirement on a predetermined monthly salary such as that determined by FIRE, where they're saying withdraw only 4 or 5% of that money that you've saved, it can be so limiting. Inflation is not a stable metric. It's influenced by so many things that you are not in control of. Look at what's going on in the world right now with tariffs. Your established monthly retirement may not survive that turmoil. My point is, stay active, be able to take a new direction, and keep building your wealth. Because freedom isn't about that one big escape at the end of it all. Freedom is about the ability to pivot, to transition, to make moves towards a life that feels right for you whenever you need to. If you want to start preparing for your next transition, not just for your retirement, I have created a tool that helped me plan mine. It's called the Transition Fund Calculator. I'll link it in the description below if you want to check it out. I'll also leave a link of a video where I show you exactly how I used it in the description below. Let's build lifestyle and financial freedom together, not just an end-of-life retirement.